Hello everyone, welcome to Storytime in Seacliff. Oberon, are you ready for a good one? Here we go. I'm wondering how many of you guessed the story of Ferdinand. Yes? All right, let's go. It's a great book. Story of Ferdinand. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with they would run and jump and they would butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he'd sit in its shade all day long and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. "Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head?" she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. "I like it better here, where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers." His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, she let him sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and very strong. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in that same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other, they'd stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. Well, one day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting and leaping and jumping, so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce, and they would be picked. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care, so he went out to his favorite cork tree and sat down. Oh no. Uh-oh. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You'd sting him, and that's just what this bee did to Ferdinand. Ow, ouch! Did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting and butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of them all, just the one for the bullfight in Madrid. So they took him away for the bullfight that very day. What a day it was. Oh, the flags were flying and the bands were playing, and all of the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleras with their long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull to make him mad. Next came the picadors, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull to make him even madder. And then came the matador. The proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome, and he bowed to the ladies, and he had a red cape and a sword, and he was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Of course, It was Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the bandoleros were so afraid of him. And the picadors, oh, they were afraid. And the matador, he was scared too. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone was shouting and clapping because they thought he was going to fight fiercely. And sure enough, let's see what happened. Not Ferdinand, though. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and he smelled. He wouldn't fight. He wouldn't be fierce, no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. Oh, and they became madder and madder, and the matador, he was so mad. He cried because he couldn't show off. Oh, so they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he's sitting there still, under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, very quietly. And he is very, very happy. That's the end of the story of Ferdinand. It's a great story, isn't it? Well, today, let's look at our cake and our birthday. Just let me see. I'll tell you, I have to say, yesterday was a very vanilla day, right? Not so today. Miles and Jackson, chocolates. Nicholas and Emily, chocolates. Ben, chocolate. B, chocolate. Bevy, chocolate. Ruby, chocolate. We have a few vanillas. Maeve and Molly and Alice are our only vanillas. Let me count, all right? Those are 3 vanillas and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chocolates. Wow. I wonder what Trevor's choice would be, because today is Trevor's birthday. So I'm going to make it a very chocolatey looking cake. Yes, indeed. And we're going to sing to Trevor. Ready, guys? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Trevor. Happy birthday to you. We put the cake down. All right, Oberon. Behind you is our clue for tomorrow. Whoa, let me bring it up. Oh, it's a heavy one today. Wow. Take a guess, everybody, for tomorrow's story. I bet many of you will guess. Okay, I think Jillian knows. Many more of you might. Let me put it back down. Okay, so we'll see you all tomorrow. And remember, I love you all.